Oil prices at a record high in Pakistan. And that forces people like Masood Arshad to slash their spending.
I work in a private company. I was managing my budget when oil prices were not that high. But now it is becoming increasingly difficult. I have cut down my expenses.
Last month, the government raised petrol price by 30 rupees or 15 cents per litre. It was the biggest increase in one go. But further hikes in oil prices are on the cards, so are those for electricity. The government is making difficult and unpopular decisions as it says it has limited options to avoid a potential default. The International Monetary Fund is demanding increases in the prices of oil and other energy products to revive Pakistan's bailout program. But fulfilling these conditions will make Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's government unpopular. To avoid taking all the blame, the Prime Minister has offered dialogue to his political rivals on the economic crisis.
We need to ensure consistency and continuity of economic policies for at least a decade. So political cycles should not change our direction.
The government is seeking bipartisan consensus at a time when Pakistan's economy is in dire straits. Pakistan has $10.1 billion in foreign reserves. That amount can cover only 6 weeks of imports. Pakistan's external debt has swelled to $128 billion, nearly half its GDP. The country is also facing a record budget deficit of around $28 billion. And inflation has almost hit 14%. Some people say Pakistan's situation is like Sri Lanka's. Its fellow South Asian country has effectively run out of foreign reserves, causing a debt default and shortages of essential goods.
Unfortunately, we could see a situation emerge in Pakistan, not in months, but could be as early as the next few weeks, which would look very similar to what happened in Sri Lanka.
The finance minister in former Prime Minister Imran Khan's government has ruled out accepting Sharif's call for talks on Pakistan's economic challenges. This means the lingering political and economic crisis will only add to the woes of Pakistanis. Kamran Yousaf, TRT World, Islamabad.
Economist Ali Khizar told us more about how rising prices will affect Pakistanis in the coming year.
And there was a condition of the IMF to increase those prices, but the political governments were fighting between each other, and because of that political crisis, the political impasse, this situation has arrived. But last week they have increased the prices by 30 rupees per litre, and now yesterday they have increased by another 30 rupees per litre. And still there is a subsidy of about 10 rupees on petrol and 27 rupees on diesel. So you would expect another round of increase in the next few days, and then you would expect a very tough budget with the new taxes where you clog in some of the revenue measures to the subsidy which you have given in the past 3 months. And there is another similar reason for electricity price increase, because the base tariff was supposed to be revised up. Fuel cost has gone up like anything because of the currency depreciation and high international prices. So the thing is this, it's a global commodity prices that is driving that. Then because of the political crisis at home, there are delays in it. Because of that, currency has depreciated from a level of 175 to 200. And now the government is doing it because they don't have an option. And you expect a similar increase again, and you expect a tough budget again, and expect this increase by having taxes on that, the petroleum levy and GST. So there's going to be very tough year for people of Pakistan. So seeing all these, Pakistan will be able to weather the default and move on a path towards stability. But things would remain jittery, the inflation remain high till the oil prices to come down in the international market. It's going to be very difficult here. People will curtail the demand. Companies would have less sales, and there'll be probably a negative volumetric growth in Pakistan in many companies, and the businesses would not make money. Real estate, stock markets would tank or would remain standstill. Demand would cut down. So it's going to be a very 1 to 2 tough years for people of Pakistan, especially the poor class and the lower middle class.